Hello and welcome to the Play Android Game Reviews. My name is Daniel and today I'll be showing you the game Goblin Dash by Paul Goella. And it's an action arcade game, well, an endless runner actually, and it's an endless runner of a different kind, I have to say. And this is how the game, well, looks when it started up. It's pretty basic here. You have your play button here on the left and your different settings and, well, menu points on this scroll on the right. We have scores, settings, about and donate, and in settings you can basically just the basic things here where you can, well, switch the controls from the right side on the screen to the left side. You can turn your sound and music on or off, and one key feature here, you can turn your blood on or off. And why that is, I'll show you in a minute, but well, then here's the about button with some, well, info about the game's version and about the developer. Yeah, well, you see here already the game is kept in a, well, 3D graphics. And this is, well, the whole game looks basically like this. You have the background here with the play button, and let's just jump into the game. And we see here a character selection screen. And currently, because, well, it's our first run, we only have the paladin available, but we can unlock the other guys as well. And here's a, well, die every possible way to unlock this guy with the glowing eyes, and support the game by donating to unlock and get a high score of at least 20 to unlock. And these are the characters here. I haven't unlocked any other guy yet, and only the paladin is the standard character. And you see here the 3D graphics as well, and I have to say they're quite good for a game like this. Looks quite polished here with the animation and the textures. And let's just start in the game, and this is basically how the game looks. You see the background we already saw in the starting screen, and you see our paladin moving along from left to right and encountering numerous goblins. And this is why I told you about the blood. And you see there's just a lot of blood actually in this game. You have to kill those goblins in your way with those buttons on the right, and you see all those killing animations going on and the blood spilling out if you, well, cut them with your sword. Well, you're a paladin, of course, so you have to cut bad guys like goblins or orcs or whatever you have you. And yeah, this is how the game plays basically. And I mean, it's an endless runner. If you're familiar with this kind of game, you already know it goes on and on. This is why it's called endless, and it's just always the same, but it's actually pretty fun here because you have those challenges coming up with those goblins. And yeah, you see the controls on the right, and it's pretty straightforward. You have to tab the controls, either the upper sword, the middle sword, or the lower sword to well, attack the goblin's head, the goblin's belly, or the goblin's feet. And sometimes they attack in the same direction you do, and well, you have to, well, fight them. Here we saw it right here, fight them, and you have to tap continuously to overwhelm them, to be stronger than them, and then, well, deal the killing blow. This is the basic control concept here. And let's talk about graphics a bit. I already told you, well, the background is the same as in the starting screen, and we have our paladin here, and as I said before, quite nicely done for a game like this, for a free game especially, and good animations, good killing animations and fighting animations. And yeah, well, the goblins as well, they look, well, there are a bunch of goblins actually here, not just always the same. There are quite a few different types here with armor, with body painting and stuff like this, so pretty varied here, which is quite nice. And as well as the fluid animations, as I told you before. And it's not a 2D game, which is, well, refreshing after playing a lot of 2D games on mobile platforms, because, well, most of them are 2D and this one here is not. It's, well, basically all there is in 3D, which is quite the change. And, well, we nearly made it to 220. Let's try this again. And yeah, you might hear in the background there's some music going on. There was music already going on in the menu. Well, it's basically this kind of fantasy music you expect from a game like this. It's, well, dungeon music, I'd call it. And you have different music in the menu and in the gameplay, during gameplay as well. And it's really, well, fits the play style, fits the, well, the pace of the game and the action of the game, because this is a game with quite a lot of action, I'd say, with the blood and the fighting and all the stuff. And the music is really fitting here, as well as the sound effects for fighting, for the swords, for killing the goblins and stuff like this. And you also have the so-called Willem scream, in the game. This famous, well, Scream 4, people dying in movies or something like this, and you have this in this game as well, which gives it quite a nice touch here. What I found a bit strange though is you have all these guys screaming out, but you hardly hear your character actually doing any noise. So either he's a mute paladin, or, well, the sounds are just missing, I don't know. But still quite nicely done in terms of sounds here. And controls as well. I mean, I already explained how the game is controlled with those buttons on the right side. And despite being a UI, well, control scheme here, it's really nicely done. It's responsive and intuitive as well. Easy to get into, and, well, you have no problem controlling the game with this, because you don't have to control the movements of your character. You can fully concentrate on the killing, on the fighting here, and the controls are just, well, they really, well, fit this style, and it's responsive, and we didn't encounter any kind of lag or something like this, any kind of, well, technical difficulties, which is necessary for this kind of game, because you need quick reactions and you need, well, quickly reacting controls here. And, well, perfect controls, I'd say, for this playstyle. And yeah, this is all there is to talk about, well, the technical side of the game. And let's talk about originality a bit. And I mean, I already told you numerous times, it's an endless runner. And there are quite a lot of endless runners out there in the store, but this one is quite different. And because here it's not about jumping and collecting stuff. Here it's about, well, being quick enough and killing those goblins here, and not concentrating about all the, well, skill-based and jumping kind of thing, but more on the action kind of, well, side of those games. And I've looked for other games that do basically the same, but I couldn't find any game that really replicated this kind of gameplay. And this I found really unique, and it's really actually fun to play. And it's just a different experience from all those games before, all those, well, standard endless runners you have in the store, and it's a fresh concept here, and I really like this. One thing I encountered in the store that was quite, well, there were quite a lot of other Goblin games, so the whole Goblin theme might not be the most original one here, but still, even if it was, well, even if it were orcs versus elves, or I don't know, humans versus robots, the thing with the whole gameplay being so unique and fun, you don't really care about what's the actual, well, art theme here. So yeah, goblins not that much of a problem. And I think in terms of replayability, the game is quite addictive, and you want to play it again and again because it's easy to get into, and it's, well, easy to basically, well, grasp the whole concept of it. You don't need to pay too much attention to it. You don't need to learn, well, a lot of things to really get into the game. And this makes it easy to pick up and easy to play on the go. And I'd say it's a perfect mobile game here. And you have those unlockable characters you want to get. There's always something, well, those add this kind of, well, encouraging factor to play again and to get those characters to, well, play with them if you want to. But what I've found a bit surprising, it lacks kind of in the terms of, well, achievements and a global high score, which would be really nice for a game like this, some kind of connection to Google Play Games. It has a personal high score on the device, but this is just for you, for the player, and not for, well, I think it lacks kind of in the sense of competitive, well, features here. But still, the whole addictive gameplay here really, well, adds to the game's replay value. And yeah, I really like playing this game. I have to say, it really is fun to play, and it's a really nice time waster actually. And this is basically all there is to talk about here. If you want to read the in-depth review, head right over to playandroid.com. You'll find the link in the video description, as well as the link to the Google Play Store where you can download Goblin Dash for free. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you tune in next time, and until then I say goodbye.